After you can run your first JavaFX GUI file, let's go more detail to talk about the hierarchy for each class in the JavaFX. So you can go see this structure. So this structure actually is each class, the hierarchy under JavaFX. Remember earlier we said each application you have one stage. Each stage you have one scene. Each scene you have one parent. But the parent actually can be here. Parents can be a UI control or parents can be a pane. So the UI control is earlier we give you the example. When we do the My JavaFX example, in the scene, I only have one button. So button actually is one kind of UI control. The UI control like button, label, text field, checkbox, radio button. That we will all learn in this class. But also sometimes you see if you have control, right, you only have one control as the parent. So other than that, you can add nothing else in the scene. But sometimes in our GUI, they may be very complicated. So if you have a complicated GUI, right, so each parent, we don't use the UI control, we use a pane. So we have different kind of pane. We have flow pane, we have the grid pane, border pane, H-box, V-box, or stack pane. So what is the pane? The pane you can think about is a collection of different UI components. So you just need to decide what kind of layout you want to do. So in each layout, they can add either a UI control or a shape. So the shape, actually, we have many different kinds of shape object. We have the circle, we have rectangle, we have polygon, we have line, we have text. Or you can add image view. So this image view can be a picture, can be a movie. So that's in our multimedia animation, you can add the video. So those things actually they all consider is a node in the pane. So since most of time when we have our JavaFX GUI, we have a scene contain a pane as a parent. So let's talk about more about all those pane. So all those pane we talk about is we call they are layout pane. Even we have so many different kind of pane, but the fundamental base class is we call pane. So the base class pane actually is we say base class for the layout pane. So in the pane, right, if you want to add more node into your pane, you need to use the getChildren method. So this getChildren method actually will return a list of the node in the pane. So after you get the children, you can add a node into the pane. So be careful here we say, after you invoke getChildren method, right, they will return you a list. What is the list? We will talk about more when we talk about data structure section. But here, when we say the list, I just want you to consider this list basically is kind of like array list. So remember before we did use array list, right? So did you remember your array list? So here you see array list actually is one kind of list. So whenever you have one array list, right, your array list object, you can invoke add to add in an element, or you can do add all to add more elements. Okay, so that's important. Later we will show you. After you have a pane, right, how can you add multiple nodes into your pane? So the pane is the fundamental layout class. So then they have different kind of pane. If you specific use stack pane, they will place all the nodes on the top of each other in the center. So that's the later we will show you the first one, how to use the stack pane. So you can add multiple nodes, but each node, they are all in the center on the pane. So then you can have the flow pane. So the floor pane is, they will have the node row by row horizontally or column by column. On the other hand, actually the flow pane is, after you add each node, right, they will follow 1, 2, 3, 4, one next to each other. So the grid pane later will show you the grid pane like you have an Excel table. You can have two-dimensional grid. So each node, if we want to add, you just need to tell them the row column and row number and the column number. So then we have border pane and H-box and V-box. But all those pane we will show you more later. But the next example, I just want you to quickly to show you how should I create a pane in the scene. So the next example, let's do the stack pane. I will display, I want to draw a circle in the center of my scene. So this one actually will be look like this. Okay, so that's later I want to draw a circle like this. So this circle actually is in the middle of my stage. So the next one, before we can draw a circle, I need to show you one thing is, how can we draw the circle in a GUI? So when you want to display a shape, circle is one kind of shape, rectangle is one kind of shape. So in Java, when you want to display a shape, they just like in the math geometry, you need to have x coordinate and the y coordinate. But when we do the regular geometry, two-dimensional geometry, you will see the two-dimensional plane, you have the x-axis and the y-axis. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 different quadrants. But in Java GUI, actually, we only have one quadrant. It's in the 4th quadrant. So the different thing is the 4th quadrant is x is positive. But in Java, our y quadrant, y-axis also positive. So that's why here, if we want to draw anything in the Java GUI, right, you need to consider you are in this kind of plane, two-dimensional plane. So at top left corner, we have our origin, 0, 0. So then to the right, that's x coordinate. They are positive. So going down, they will be the positive as well, but they are y coordinate. So on the other hand, if we want to draw a circle, the center is at 10 and 10. So you just need to go to the x first, 10. So y second, 10. So you can draw a circle. Okay, so that's the quadrant, how we will use the coordinates. So that's why you see you still have your x coordinate and y coordinate to draw different kind of shape. So then the next one we will see how you will draw a circle. The circle object is under JavaFX scene. So you have the shape. So then circle is under the shape package. How will you draw a circle? Right, like earlier we said, you need to have your center, right? So that's why when we draw a circle, you have 3 parameters. So the 3 data attribute is center x. So that's the x coordinate. Y is center y is y coordinate. So then I need to know my radius. So then you have 3 different kind of constructor. You can just create a circle with default constructor. That means your xy coordinates is 0, 0. And your radius is also 0, because here you see they have default value. But also you can specify your coordinates. So this coordinates is your center coordinates. Or you can have xy coordinates and your radius. So the circle is a shape. Also remember a shape, or we say the node. So they is not apparent. So they cannot direct add into the scene. So in order to add a circle object into the scene, you need to into a pane. So this pane can be stack pane or regular pane first. So that's why we see here. How can I draw a circle will look like this. So this one, I want you to download the example we call show circle.java file. So I want you to see, can you run on your Java app on your Eclipse first? So I will explain more in detail. Remember, anytime you can post your video. So actually earlier I already posted my video, so that's why I have my show circle Java file run. So if you import correctly, now you click run, you will see, right, I have a circle now. Okay, so my title is show circle. So then I have my circle on a stack pane. So the first thing you can see all the time when you create a JavaFX, you need to extend the application. So then you have your start method. So your start method, your stage, you see you can have the last 4 lines for the information. So show your stage, set your stage scene, show the title. So the title I say show circle. So then my scene here, you see here my scene I have my size. So that's how you default when you display your size. So then here I have a pen as my parent. So that's why the GUI look like this. Okay, so now we will see how can we create a pen. So this pen, actually what I do is I using the regular pen. So I just call pen. So if you have the regular pen, when you create a pen, right, you will have all the component when you add, they need to have their coordinates ready. So that's why I need to specify. When I create a circle, I set my x coordinates equal to 100. Set y coordinates is 100. So the radius 50. And I can set my color. So when you see the set stroke, actually is the boundary color is black. So then you set the fill, how I fill up the color for my circle. So about the color and the font, we will talk about more detail in other video. But here you just try to see that's our color, how to set up. Okay. So actually this 3 line, when I create a new circle, I can set the XY coordinate and radius 1 by 1. So actually this 3 line, this 4 line actually, this 4 line is equivalent to, you can just have the circle. When you create a new circle, you have your XY coordinates specified in your radius. Okay, so that's why here you will have your GUI display. Like earlier we showed you. Okay, so that's the color we have. So then you can see here. So that's why here, after you have, you can try to play with that to change the color, to change your boundary. So then here the most important thing is after you create your pen, right? How you will add your circle object into your pen. Like earlier we told you, to add a pen, I need to call get children to get the list for all the nodes I have in this pen. So I call pen.getChildren method. So after you have this one, they will return you a list. So this list is observable list. We will talk about more in detail. But you just consider they kind of list just like array list. So then you can add a circle node. So that's why they will look like that. So now you can post a video if you want. So then you can try to modify your data here to see what they change. So now did you see here? Because I have the coordinates, right? So that's why after you have GUI show, I can enlarge my stage and the scene. But you see, the circle didn't change location. The reason is what? Because the coordinates already set. So when you're using a pen as a container, actually they will fix your coordinates. So that's why even you resize your window, they won't change. So now if you really want to have your circle always stay in the center, how will you do? So actually here we can change our pen. Instead to use the pen, I change to the stack pen. Okay, so then here we need to import our stack pen. So even as a stack pen, you're still using the get children to add circle. So then if we run, you will see here because we become stack pane, right? So then when you